بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين أما بعد بسم الله. We will continue with the Surah Ibrahim and then inshallah take Surah Al-Hijr and Surah Al-Nahl. 14th Juzz. Surah Ibrahim, although it's from the 13th Juzz, but because we didn't cover it. So, as you know, we are in the which group of surahs we are in now? Third group of surahs. First group of surahs is about what? Sharia. The Sharia has been outlined for us. Yeah. In response to our in response to our dua for guidance. In Surah Al-Baqarah, Al-Imran, Al-Nisa, Al-Ma'idah. Then in the second group of surahs, how many surahs are there?
6.
La ilaha illallah. Very interesting. You know, some people say to me, don't mention the groups. We know the groups. You don't have to talk about it all the time. You talk about it all the time. Why are you talking about all the time? Now I'm asking, and even people in my household are telling me different numbers. Allah Musta'an. 4. Yeah, you should not be hesitant. That is a 4. You should be able to fight that is 4. Yeah, you should be so confident that it's 4. Okay. Yes, 4 surahs in the second group of surahs. Allah Musta'an. First two surahs in that group are what? Which surahs? An'am and Al-A'raf. What are they about? What is An'am and Al-A'raf about?
Signs in the Ayyam and in the creation.
Waffle.
Signs in
Waffle.
and creation.
Signs in creation in ourselves and
history.
signs in history. Why are these signs shown? These signs are shown for a purpose. What's the purpose of showing these signs to people? To remind them of what? Allah, first and foremost, and His oneness. Whole Quran, whole Islam, whole creation, whole everything is Allah. It's all about worshipping Allah, everything. Sole purpose of everything is to worship Allah. What was the process called of showing all these signs to people? Itmam al-Hujjah. Itmam al-Hujjah is when you complete the process of showing people all the signs, reminding them from every aspect, inner, outer, mental, physical, spiritual, social, every aspect of life, from history. This is battery is low on this. And then these reminders should lead the people to then realize, yes, yes, Allah, yes, Akhirah, yes, Messenger, yes, life, yes, purpose, yes. Okay. Second group of surah. Then Surah Al-An'am and Al-A'raf do this, and Surah Al-Anfal and Surah Tawbah do what? What are they about? Anfal and Tawbah. Forgiveness. What? Consequence of believing or disbelieving in this. Yes, and the consequence is that the people who still disbelieve, the specific audience of the messenger, like the Quraysh, they would be destroyed. Okay? And then the third group of surah is about what? The third group of surah is regarding what? Yes, the phenomenon of haqq always dominating batil. Haqq will always dominate batil, will always win. Batil will always lose in the end. The test is, can you be steadfast and patient enough for that or not? Yeah, that's the test. And in this month of Ramadan, one of the names of this month is Shahru, this is Shahru Sabr, the month of learning steadfastness, patience, to be able to essentially dictate and govern your nafs as Allah wants it to be governed. This is Ramadan, Shahru Ramadan, Shahru Sabr. Okay? So this group of surahs, it tells us that haqq always prevails over the batil, and we looked at 7 different, slightly different meanings of a haqq, and I think from my notes, 6 or 7 different aspects of batil that have been mentioned in the Quran. So haqq and batil, we should have a good comprehensive understanding. When I ask you what is haqq, you should not say to me just it's the truth. No. You should be able to explain it. We should be able to explain haqq comprehensively and the different aspects or facets of it. When we are asked what is batil, we should not just say falsehood and then not be able to explain that further. We should be able to, yeah? Okay. So we are in the third group of surahs, Surah Yunus and Surah Hud. These were showing us the proofs of haqq, in the proofs for Tawheed, Risala and Akhirah. And Yusuf alayhi salam story in Surah Yusuf, it is a unique standalone surah in that it is not the pair of another surah as such. This is the story of haqq prevailing over batil. Yes, in the life of a prophet. And then Ra'd, we mentioned yesterday, has many similitudes of haqq and batil. And Surah Ibrahim now we are going to look at, inshallah, is also, it has similitudes of batil and haqq. And one of the striking points about this surah is that it refers to zulumat and it refers to nur. Zulumat, nur. Zulumat is the plural of what? Zulma, zulmatun. Yes, darkness. Zulumat, darknesses. Nur is singular. There is only one light of guidance, which is Allah Ta'ala's light of guidance. Allahu nuru samawati wal ard. Mathalu nurihi kamishkatin fiha misbah, etc. in Surah Nur. So Nur is the light of guidance of Allah, which lights the heart of a believer, because the iman is already potentially in every believer, in every human. Dhulumat is everything that covers or that tries to cover this light. It tries to cover, first of all, the light of fitrah. What can be dhulumat? Let's have a little brainstorm on this, yeah? Let's do the brainstorming on what is zulum, dhulumat. Where am I? Share the screen. Zulum. Okay, zulumat. Zulumat. So we said nur, there is just one nur. Nur of Allah's guidance. Hudal, hidayah. Zulumat, there are many zulumat. Zulumat. Darknesses. Okay, darknesses. Darknesses, we find the person's fitrah can be darkened by what, according to the hadith? So sins, okay, before that, the hadith of fitrah. So which means what? It talks about parents, it means environment. The environment that you are in and the company that you keep and the people who you follow, they can be a source of dhulumat, one of the dhulumat. It can be a darkness if they are not enlightened by Allah. Enlightenment. You heard this period, you heard this phrase, the enlightenment period in Europe. There's no enlightenment without Allah Ta'ala's guidance. The sins. What else covers this? The heart. Disobedience of Allah. Ma'siyah. Disobedience of Allah. Sorry, I ran out of the screen. Disobedience, he should say. Disobedience. What else covers the heart and its light? I think you have been studying Quran now for like how many days, how many juz? We are on 14 juz now, nearly half the Quran. You should be able to come up with suggestions. What seals people's hearts, as an example? Which type of darkness? Ignorance. What do you mean by ignorance? Good. Looking down on others. Pride and arrogance. Looking down on other people seals the heart. What else seals the heart? Come on, people. What seals the heart? Someone book Mu'min. What happens? Following desires. Following desire blindly, yeah? Following desires blindly, without what? Without Allah's guidance. There is nothing wrong with following the desire as long as it is in line with Allah, it is in line with Allah's guidance. We will look at this phenomenon in Surah Qasas. Okay, Surah Qasas, very, very important aspect mentioned in Surah Qasas about following the desire in the absence of Allah's light. Rejecting the truth, Batrul Haq, rejecting the truth. Rejecting the truth, yeah? Why do people reject the truth? Yeah, why don't they want to follow it? You just said what I've said in another way. Eh? They want to keep their status like shaitan. He thinks I'm better, ana khairum min. They reject the truth because they have something they think they will lose. They perceive they will lose something. They perceive they will lose their position. Sometimes a person doesn't want to accept that he or she is wrong because he thinks I will now become lower in the sight of the other person. Okay? Anything else? Dhulumat. What the types of dhulumat are there? Now let's think a bit more socially. Let's think social dhulumat. Ideological dhulumat. Injustice. Injustice. Zulum is injustice. Dhulumat. Exploitation. System of exploitation. Economic system of exploitation. Social system of exploitation. Class system. Yes? Darkness is in terms of not following Allah's light in every aspect. Secularism. Liberalism. Pluralism. All of these isms, if they do not obey Allah's guidance, they are all zulumat. Okay? Is it clear? I hope inshallah it's clear. Surah Ibrahim is telling us Allah Ta'ala sent this Quran to take people out of the zulumat into the nur. And the people of desire and the leadership especially, they take people from nur to zulumat. So we are all in a battle every day. We have to battle in a tug of war. We are all involved in a tug of war between, do we go towards the nur or are we going towards zulumat? We have to fight it every day. If you don't fight it, you will be pulled by the zulumat. Yes? This is why Allah Ta'ala says that this Quran you have to keep in your mind and heart at least 5 times a day to keep you in the nur, and away from dhulumat. Okay, Surah Ibrahim. Let's take some, inshallah, ayat. Let's first see the central theme. In light of the Quranic warnings and historical events, one should take heed and learn a lesson and leave disbelief, leave dhulumat and ungratefulness and ingratitude. Instead, turn to tawheed and shukr. Shukr, be grateful to Allah. So the first section, the first ayat, introduced the Quran and its purpose, why it was revealed. Let's take some ayat. Ayah 1, and then let's take Ayah 4, inshallah. Surah Ibrahim. Again, this surah starts with Kitab. Alif Lam Ra, Kitabun Anzalnahu ilayka litukhrija an-nasa min adh-dhulumati ila an-nur bi'idhni rabbihim ila siratil azizil hamid. Beautiful. Allah Ta'ala, He sent this book to take people out of the darknesses of forefather worship, tradition worship, yes, to the light of Allah Ta'ala's path. And the messenger has been sent with this Quran to make it easy. وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَا مِن رَسُولٍ إِلَّا بِلِسَانِ قَوْمِهِ لِيُبَيِّنَ لَهُمْ. Allah has sent the messenger to the people. The messenger communicates clearly to the people, clearly, which means clear communication. He knows the language. We have a problem in this ummah, our ummah. We have many people who know their Islam, but they don't know the language to convey their Islam. And they come to countries or go to countries and they don't learn the language. And they remain there for decades, they don't learn the language. Yes? This is not the right attitude. Learn the language of the people you're in to convey the message to the people that you have been sent to. Okay, let's move on, inshallah. Story of Musa alayhi salam is mentioned here in the second section. Take the historic event of Musa alayhi salam's life, yeah? See what happened when disbelief and ingratitude, zulumat, they faced the haqq, the nur of guidance that Allah gave to Musa alayhi salatu wasalam. Allah Ta'ala says, وَإِذْ تَعَذَّنَ رَبُّكُمْ لَإِنْ شَكَرْتُمْ لَأَزِيدَنَّكُمْ. Remember when Allah Ta'ala, He said, if you are grateful to what I have sent to you, meaning if you accept and you follow my guidance that I have sent to you, you are grateful, then I will increase you in goodness. Yes? Meaning you will be able to do more good. You will earn more reward. You will become even better. وَلَئِنْ كَفَرْتُمْ. But if you choose to be ungrateful for this by rejecting it and not following it, then you should know that my punishment is shadid, is severe. Okay. Moving on swiftly. History of conflict between gratitude and ungratefulness. Many things have been mentioned here. The messengers versus their enemies. Messengers versus their enemies. Let's look at some ayat from 13 onwards. I'll read them, you read the meaning, inshallah. وَقَالَ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا لِرُسُلِهِمْ لَنُخْرِجَنَّكُم مِّنْ أَرْضِنَا أَوْ لَتَعُودُنَّ فِي مِلَّتِنَا فَأَوْحَى إِلَيْهِمْ رَبُّهُمْ لَنُحْلِكَنَّ الظَّالِمِينَ. The people who follow the zulumat, who do injustice, Allah Ta'ala is warning them when they oppose the messengers. وَلَنُسْكِنَنَّكُمُ الْأَرْضَ مِنْ بَعْدِهِمْ. And then He will give this earth to the righteous, the messengers and their followers. We mentioned this word, مَكَّنَّاهُمْ, yeah, last time, I think a lesson ago. ذَلِكَ لِمَنْ خَافَ مَقَامِ وَخَافَ وَعِيدٍ وَاسْتَفْتَهُ وَخَابَ كُلُّ جَبَّارٍ عَنِيدٍ. And then those who were obstinate, yeah, against Allah Ta'ala, they would be destroyed. وَمِنْ وَرَائِهِ جَهَنَّمْ. مِنْ وَرَائِهِ جَهَنَّمْ. وَيُسْقَى مِن مَاءٍ صَدِيدٍ. And in the hereafter there is also this chastisement. May Allah Ta'ala protect us. يَتَجَرَّعُهُ وَلَا يَكَادُ يُسِيغُهُ. The person will gulp it, will hardly be able to swallow it. أعوذ بالله من ذلك. In the hereafter, in the Jahannam. وَيَأْتِهِ الْمَوْتُ مِن كُلِّ مَكَانٍ وَمَا هُوَ بِمَيِّتٍ. And death is coming from all around, but he never dies. There's no death. Allah Ta'ala, He would kill the death. Death would be made to take the form of a ram, yeah, an animal, and it would be slaughtered. And then after that, there's no death. وَمِن وَرَائِهِ عَذَابٌ غَلِيظٌ. And then there is a punishment that is very, very stern behind this. May Allah protect us from that. And then Allah Ta'ala, He tells us about the people who follow batil and do not follow the haqq. They are in zulumat, they don't follow the nur. Their actions are of no use to them on the Day of Judgment. مَثَلُ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا بِرَبِّهِمْ. The example of those people who disbelieve in Allah and are ungrateful to Him. أَعْمَالُهُمْ. Their actions كَرَمَادٍ اشْتَدَّتْ بِهِ الرِّيحُ فِي يَوْمٍ عَاصِفٍ. They are like ashes which a wind blows forcefully on a stormy day. This is the example of the a'mal, the actions of any person who does not act in accordance with Allah Ta'ala's guidance and does not act for Allah Ta'ala's cause, for the sake of Allah. So we should understand something, yeah? Any action, for it to be accepted by Allah, it number one needs to be sincerely for Him alone. It needs to have ikhlas. And number two, it must be done as Allah wants it to be by obeying the messenger. Ittiba'an. Ittiba'an. Yes, two conditions need to be met. Action needs to be done for Allah, for the hereafter alone, and done as Allah wants. So a person may say that I have done this for the sake of Allah, but doesn't do it the way Allah wants it to be. Yeah, so the Prophet ﷺ said, فَهُوَ رَدْ. Whoever introduces a practice in our affair, this deen, then Allah Ta'ala would not accept it. Similarly, a person may do a very good deed. Imagine non-Muslim come to the masjid and prays, yeah, and he prays every day, and he fasts every day, and he prays Taraweeh, and he gives zakat, and he goes to Hajj. This is assumption, yeah, just big assumption. And does this throughout his or her life, but doesn't believe in Allah, doesn't do it for Allah. No reward. Yes, no reward. This phenomenon has been mentioned many times in the Quran. Many people say, oh, such and such person is so good. Why wouldn't he or she be rewarded in the hereafter? We cannot say specifically for any person, yeah, because we don't know what's in the heart of anybody. But we can say definitely, as the Quran says, that any person who doesn't believe in Allah, yes, and doesn't do the act for Allah, and then dies as a disbeliever, then there would be no reward for that person. La yaqdiruna mimma kasabu ala shay. Yeah, no reward for what they have done. ذَلِكَ هُوَ الضَّلَالُ الْبَعِيدُ. This is a misguidance which takes you far away. You can close the curtain. It's difficult. Yes? This has been mentioned also in Surah Al-Kahf. In the end of Surah Al-Kahf, yeah? Number one, that's one other place. The other place is Surah Nur. Surah Nur. At least 3 places where you will find this phenomenon, and I think there are more. Okay, moving on. And then Allah Ta'ala, He tells us again, Alam tara anna Allah khalaqa as-samawati wal arda bil haqq. Do you not see that Allah created everything with a purpose? So if everything has a purpose, what's your purpose? Person should think, what's my purpose? Is my purpose just to eat, drink, sleep, enjoy? That's it. Work, holiday, work, holiday, that's it. And die? Is that the purpose? Not much of a purpose, is it? When everything around us has a very defined purpose, man must have a defined purpose. And this is what Allah Ta'ala, He sent His messengers to tell us. Okay. Now the people who are following zulumat, they are in darkness, and they are also leading others into this darkness. Allah Ta'ala is mentioning them, and then Allah Ta'ala, He talks about the leader of this darkness in these two ayat, 21 and 22. Make a note of this very important ayat. وَبَرَزُوا لِلَّهِ جَمِيعًا. They will all be brought out together in front of Allah for judgment. فَقَالَ الضُّعَفَاءُ لِلَّذِينَ اسْتَكْبَرُوا. And those weak people, the followers, will say to the people who they followed, who were the people who were arrogant and proud, إِنَّا كُنَّا لَكُمْ تَبَعًا. We followed you. فَهَلْ أَنْتُمْ مُغْنُونَ عَنَّا مِنْ عَذَابِ اللَّهِ مِنْ شَيْءٍ. So can you take any or remove any of the adhab from Allah from us? Can you remove that from us? Just like Fir'aun, his people will say to him, can you take any azab from us? قَالُوا لَوْ حَدَانَ اللَّهُ لَهَدَيْنَاكُمْ. If we had been guided by Allah, we would have guided you. We rejected the guidance, so we can't guide you. We didn't guide you. سَوَاءٌ عَلَيْنَا. It is the same for us and you. أَجَزِعْنَا أَمْ صَبَرْنَا. Whether we cry and scream and shout, or we show patience. مَا لَنَا مِن مَحِيصٍ. There is no escape from this Jahannam for us. أعوذ بالله من ذلك. As I mentioned, this phenomenon of the leaders and followers has been mentioned many times in the Quran, starting from Surah Al-Baqarah. Sit up straight, please. And this khutbah of shaitan, you know, Iblis, shaitan, he will give khutbah, his last khutbah. وقال الشيطان. And the shaitan has said, لما قضي الأمر. When the matter will be decided, the people of Jannah and Jahannam would now be decided who is going to where. إن الله وعدكم. Indeed, Allah, He gave you a promise. He made you a promise. Who's saying this? Shaitan. وعد الحق. His promise is true. His promise is just. His promise is right. It is a reality. Think of all of the meanings of haqq, yeah? His promise is haqq, meaning you deserve now what you're getting. Think of the other meaning of haqq. It's a reality. This is happening now. This is not just a dream. Yes? This is the objective of your creation, to be judged. You cannot morally, you cannot deny this. You cannot rationally deny this. And this is just. وَوَعَدْتُكُمْ. And he will say, I also promised you many things. Many things He promises people. فَأَخْلَفْتُكُمْ. But I have been disloyal to you. Okay, I betrayed you. Just like He betrayed the Quraysh in which battle? Badr. Yes, He said the same thing in Surah Al-Anfal. You should think about this Quran holistically, yeah? Holistically. Always try to make connections throughout the Quran. وَمَا كَانَ لِي عَلَيْكُمْ مِنْ سُلْطَانٍ إِلَّا أَنْ دَعَوْتُكُمْ فَاسْتَجَبْتُمْ لِي. I had no authority over you. I suggested and you accepted. I proposed, you accepted. Yes, just like when you go onto the website or the YouTube and it says click here and you click. You were invited, you were not forced to click. فَلَا تَلُومُونِي وَلَوْمُوا أَنفُسَكُمْ. Don't blame me, blame yourselves. أَنفُسَكُمْ. Yes, you have destroyed your anfus. You have come back with a heart, yes, which you have polluted or you have sealed because of your wrongdoing. مَا أَنَا بِمُصْرِخِكُمْ وَمَا أَنْتُمْ بِمُصْرِخِي. Neither my screaming, shouting, or your screaming, shouting can do any good today. إِنِّي كَفَرْتُ بِمَا شَرْتُمُونِ مِنْ قَبْلِ. And that which you did because of my invitation, today you would be expecting that I may give you some sort of thank you. He says, I disassociate myself with what you did for me. I don't want it. This is adding insult to injury. إِنَّ الظَّالِمِينَ لَهُمْ عَذَابٌ أَلِيمٌ. And these people who did wrong, they committed the injustice by not following the nur, but remaining in darkness. For them there will be a severe punishment. May Allah protect us from that. And then another beautiful example of haqq and batil. So many similitudes of haqq and batil given here. Haqq and batil, yeah? Two trees. Two types of plants or trees. Haqq and batil. There is a shajara tayyiba. A tayyiba shajara tree. And there is khabitha. An evil impure tree. The shajara tayyiba has very deep roots. Yes, deep roots. All of these roots in the ground. Okay, in the ground. This is the ground. In the ground, there are roots, deep roots. And then it has a very strong trunk, if you like. And don't laugh at my drawing. And then it has branches that touch the sky, or the fruits that come up. Yes? And then the khabitha has no real roots. It's just a bush. Yeah? Any wind that comes blows it over straight away. Has no real significance, has no basis, has no reality. It's not real. It is very, very fragile, and it is fleeting. It is like fashion. You know fashion? Fashion comes and goes. Okay? So this beautiful example of haqq and batil, Allah Ta'ala says, Alam tara kayfa darab Allahu mathalan. Have you not thought about how Allah, He explains with an example, kalimatan tayyibatan, a pure tree, ka shajaratin tayyibatin, a pure word. Pure word here is la ilaha illallah. Yes? Kalimat tayyiba is la ilaha illallah. This is in the heart of the believer, yeah? Imagine this, when the person says la ilaha illallah from the heart, then this is the seed in the heart. It takes root. Ka shajaratin tayyiba. It is like a pure tree. Asluha, its roots, thabitun, are firm in the heart. وَفَرْعُهَا فِي السَّمَاءِ. And then the result of that is that then the believer now progresses and rises high up towards the heaven. تُؤْتِي أُكُلَهَا كُلَّ حِينٍ بِإِذْنِ رَبِّهَا وَيَضْرِبُ اللَّهُ الْأَمْثَالَ لِلنَّاسِ لَعَلَّهُمْ يَتَذَكَّرُونَ. And then the example of the khabitha tree. وَمَثَلُ كَلِمَةٍ خَبِيثَةٍ. The evil, bad word. You know, even if the people don't say that I bear witness that I believe in shaitan, or I follow shaitan, or they don't believe, or they don't say I bear witness that I will follow my desire. They don't say that, yeah? But this is what they are saying without saying it, because this is in the heart. Is kashajaratin khabithatin, is like an evil tree. Ijtusat min fawqil ard ma laha min qarar. It is uprooted from the surface because it has no stability. And Allah Ta'ala then mentions the believers, and may Allah Ta'ala make us from amongst these believers in ayah 27. يثبت الله الذين آمنوا بالقول الثابت في الحياة الدنيا وفي الآخرة. Allah Ta'ala, He makes firm the believers, yes, because of their saying La ilaha illallah in this dunya and in the akhirah. In this dunya, how a person is firm on La ilaha illallah? By following what Allah Ta'ala says, by rejecting what everybody else says other than Allah if it contradicts what Allah says. And fil akhirah, Allah would make us firm, inshallah, ameen, when we see the angel of death. Angel of death is waiting just for Allah Ta'ala's command to bring our soul out. And then in the grave, when we see the questioning, may Allah Ta'ala make us firm. And then when we are in the grave, may Allah make us firm. When we are resurrected, Allah make us firm. When we are on the Yawmul Hisab, Allah make us firm. And then inshallah ta'ala, when Allah Ta'ala, He gives us our account, may Allah make us firm. And may Allah give us hasabna hisaban yasira, the easy account where there is no account and there is direct entry into Jannah. Ameen ya Rabbal Alameen. وَيُضِلُّ اللَّهُ الظَّالِمِينَ. And the zalimeen, they will be misguided by Allah because of their choice to be misguided. وَيَفْعَلُ اللَّهُ مَا يَشَاءُ. Allah, He does what He wills. So a beautiful example between haqq and batil. So this was 24 and 27. And Ibrahim alayhi salam has been mentioned here in ayahs 40 and 41. He made a dua. He made a dua for his progeny to remain righteous, yeah? So he wanted haqq to remain. And in the end, Allah Ta'ala tells us that batil will always fail. So let's just take that one ayah, then move on to the next surahs. 46, ayah 46. وَقَدْ مَكَرُوا مَكْرَهُمْ وَإِنَّ اللَّهِ مَكْرُهُمْ وَإِنْ كَانَ مَكْرُهُمْ لَتَزُولَ مِنْهُ الْجِبَالُ. And they had planned their plan, but with Allah is recorded their plan, even if their plan had been sufficient to do away with the mountains. Subhanallah. Yes. What does it mean? It means that the people of Batil, they plan. They work very hard. They work very hard. Yes. So hard that even mountains could be moved by it. Yes. It means that the believers should work harder. Because the Batil, people of Batil, their plan will be destroyed. But the people of Haqq, if we plan for Allah, then Allah Ta'ala, He is with us. Okay, we have to move on to the next two surahs because of time. Surah Al-Hijr and Surah Al-Nahl. Al-Hijr and Al-Nahl. A pair of surahs. Hijr and Nahl. Hijr, Nahl. Overall, we will find in these two surahs, there is of course the mention of Haqq and Batil in this. But in Nahl, in Surah Al-Hijr, there is more mention of Ayyamullah, the days in which Allah Ta'ala, He destroyed nations. So there is mention of different nations, yes? Overall. There are also other evidences, internal evidences, nafs and outward in the creation and history. And Surah Al-Nahl, more of it is ala-illah, more of the favors of Allah and His creation. More of it, yeah? So we will find that the cattle have been mentioned, the rain, the fruits, the vegetation, the day, the night, the sun, the moon, the stars, mountains, valleys, the bee, the nahl, the bee has been mentioned here, milk that comes for us, that benefits us, all of these different signs in creation that Allah Ta'ala is reminding us of have been mentioned here. So this is a very brief overview of the two surahs. Let's look at each surah very briefly because of the time. Surah Al-Hijr, let's take first. Surah Al-Hijr was revealed in the 11th or 12th year of Nabawi. And Surah Nahl is also in the 12th year of Nabawi. Proofs for the law of recompense through outer, inner and historic signs. And a warning to the mushrikeen of destruction if they don't accept these signs. Instruction to refrain from material worship and to not be pressurized from the disbelievers. This is talking to the believers. And continue to invite and convey the message despite the hardships that you are facing in this time in Makkah. Subhanallah. Think about it. How many people was this addressing? How many believers was this addressing in Makkah? 100 maximum. But Allah Ta'ala, to Him, those people were that special, that special. He's addressing them, He's helping them, subhanallah. What do they teach us? What do they teach us? He teaches Allah Ta'ala, He doesn't look at the quantity, it's the quality. It's the ikhlas for Allah. If we are sincere to Allah, Allah He will guide us. Subhanallah. Allahu Akbar. Surah Al-Hijr, the first 5 ayat are a warning. Let's take those ayat very briefly. And again, this surah starts with mentioning of the book. Alif Lam Ra, Tilka ayatul kitabi wa Qur'anin mubin. Rubama yawaddu alladhina kafaru law kanu muslimin. The disbelievers will wish that we wish that we were Muslim. Dharhum ya'kulu wa yatamattahu yulhihimul amal fasawfa ya'lamun wa ma ahlakna min qaryatin illa wallaha kitabun ma'lum. Allah Ta'ala is telling us His sunnah in how the nations have been dealt with. Ma tasbiqu min ummatin ajalaha wa ma yastakhirun. A nation's time is fixed the azab doesn't come before or after, it comes at the precise time. Or that azab can be averted. Which qawm, which nation was able to avert the azab of Allah? The people of Yunus. Yes, people of Yunus, because Yunus alayhi salam, he left, he did hijrah before Itmam al-Hujjah. That was his mistake. Okay, I forgot to mention that before. Khair, moving on. Okay, so Haqq and Batil, yeah? Make a note of these two surahs of Hijr and Nahl. This is ayah 6. Yeah, ayah 6. In ayah 6, Allah Ta'ala says that the Haqq is this Quran. It has been preserved, yeah? Quran preserved, okay? Quran has been preserved. This is the Haqq. And in Surah Nahl, in ayah 44, Allah Ta'ala tells us that Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, has been sent to explain and clarify and exemplify this Quran. Okay? So together, the Haqq has been preserved by Allah. The Quran has been preserved. Inna nahnu nazzalna dhikra wa inna lahu lahafidun. Quran was preserved in the life of the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, in the memories, and it had been written. But it was only after the Prophet ﷺ passed away that it was then put into a single book form. Yes. And the Prophet ﷺ, he explained the Quran. When Aisha radiallahu anha was asked about the Prophet ﷺ, she said, Kana khuluquhu al-Quran. His whole lifestyle was Quran. So if you want to understand Quran, learn the lifestyle of Rasulullah ﷺ from the people who were around him through the ahadith. So Allah Ta'ala is telling us, Inna nahnu nazzalna dhikra wa inna lahu lahafidhun. We are the protectors of this Quran, yes? There is no doubt that this is from Allah. It is protected, it is unchanged. It has been memorized by billions of people throughout history. Until today, millions of people. So this is the basis, Haqq. This is Haqq. Okay, let's move on, inshallah, to the next section. Proofs of Tawheed through the signs in nature, yeah? So as I mentioned, many signs given here, yeah? Allah Ta'ala talks about the sky, how He created it, the earth, how He has spread it out, the mountains, how He has made them firm, the vegetation that grows, and then the life-supporting environment that Allah Ta'ala, He has created, biqadrin. Yeah, everything in due proportion and equilibrium in the environment. There is a balance. There are winds, there is rain. So all of these have a purpose, bil haqq. Allah Ta'ala is saying everything created with haqq. And you think you have no purpose. This is the mistake that you are making. And then inner signs given regarding reward and justice. Yeah, reward and justice. Iblis, he declares his mission. Yes, and then Allah Ta'ala mentions that the people who follow him would be punished, and the people who follow Allah Ta'ala would be rewarded. So this is haqq. Haqq, yeah? People will get what they deserve. An inner sign, and this essentially is reflected in our morality. And then historic proofs, yeah? In the story of Ibrahim alayhi salam and Lut alayhi salam, the people of Aika, these are the, which number is that? 78. These are the people of Shu'aib, okay? And then the story of Hijr, these are the people of Thamud. So Allah Ta'ala has mentioned these people and their stories to tell us that Allah Ta'ala, He does justice, and He has already shown us how He carries out this justice. Then ayah 85 again talks about haqq, creation with purpose. وَمَا خَلَقْنَا السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضَ وَمَا بَيْنَهُمَا إِلَّا بِالْحَقِّ. We did not create the heavens and the earth and whatever is in between them except with a purpose, with an outcome. وَإِنَّ السَّاعَةَ لَآتِيَةٌ. And the hour will definitely come, it's coming. فَاصْفَحِ الصَّفْحَ الْجَمِيلِ. So now you can forgive them graciously for their arrogance. And then Allah mentions His favor, وَلَقَدْ آتَيْنَكَ سَبْعًا مِنَ الْمَثَانِ وَالْقُرْآنِ الْعَظِيمِ. Allah Ta'ala, He is telling the Prophet ﷺ and this ummah that He has given us the favor of Surah Al-Fatiha. Surah Al-Fatiha is the voice of the fitrah, the dua of the fitrah. If a person just ponders about Surah Al-Fatiha, the person would understand the whole message. It is the message of the cry of the fitrah. The fitrah is saying what the surah is saying. And then ayah 92, Allah Ta'ala is saying, don't worry, you carry on with your task, and He, Allah, فَوَرَبِّكَ لَنَسْأَلَنَّهُمْ أَجْمَعِينَ, He will question all of them about what they did. فَاسْتَعْ بِمَا تُؤْمَرُ. So you carry on with what you've been commanded. Don't worry about the mushrikeen. Allah Ta'ala says He will suffice. He will be enough to guard you and protect you against what they are mocking, these people. And Allah Ta'ala, He knows, Ya Rasulullah alayhi salatu wassalam, وَلَقَدْ نَعْلَمُ أَنَّ يَضِيقُ صَدْرُكَ بِمَا يَقُولُونَ. Subhanallah. Look how intimate Allah is with His Rasul. He says, I know that what they do and what they say, their attitude against you, it destroys you, it kills you, it hurts you. Yeah, your breast is constrained. So what to do in response? فَسَبِّحْ بِحَمْدِ رَبِّكَ. So you carry on doing tasbih. Tasbih here meaning you carry on telling them Allah is perfect. He is not what you think He is. He is not somebody who needs aliha. And you carry on obeying Allah. وَعْبُدْ رَبَّكَ حَتَّى يَأْتِيَكَ الْيَقِينَ. And you carry on worshipping Allah until that which is certain comes, which is the death. And other tafsir says that the victory comes to you. Surah An-Nahl. Surah An-Nahl, as I mentioned, this is more about the signs in the favors and the creation of Allah. Again, dialogue with the deniers of Tawheed, Risala and Akhirah. Instruction to accept the Creator and Sustainer also as Ilah. Yes, many people accept that there's a Creator. Many people may even accept that there is a Sustainer who is running the universe. But the main thing is that do you take Him as your lawgiver? Do you take Him as your Lord to follow and obey? This is Ilah. Okay? The majority of people may say we believe in God, but do they actually follow Him or not? This is Ilah. Tawheed al-Uluhiyya. Yeah? We have to obey Allah. Muslims should continue inviting to the truth with patience, perseverance, and with wisdom. Beautiful ayat at the end of this surah. Okay. The first section then, briefly. Proofs for the Creator and the Sustainer, and instruction to accept Him as Ilah. Some proofs have been given. Again, the surah in the beginning talks about the Quran being sent and the messenger has been sent together to convey the message. And then there are many of Allah's favors. Yeah, many ayat here, 5 to 17. I'm just going to list some of the favors. The cattle have been mentioned. The benefits we get from cattle, we eat, we drink. Yeah, we get the fur, we get leather, you name it. Google it. You should Google the benefits and the products that we are benefiting from cattle. The rain, the crops that we enjoy, the olives have been mentioned, dates that we're enjoying in iftar, inshallah, soon. Grapes have been mentioned. The day and night have been mentioned. SubhanAllah, imagine Allah Ta'ala mentioned in the Quran. Which surah? Sarmadan ila yawm al-qiyamah. If Allah made the day perpetual. Which surah? No problem. And if Allah had made the night perpetual, imagine you woke up and it's just night. People go crazy. And you go to sleep, but it's still day. You mess up our whole clock. SubhanAllah. We're not grateful for this to Allah. The sun, we should be grateful to Allah for the sun. For the moon, we should be grateful for the function that the moon carries out by Allah's command. The stars and how they guide. The seafood has been mentioned here. The food that we acquire from the sea has been mentioned. A very rich source of clean, pure food. And also the pearls that we extract from the sea. and the fact that we can carry our heavy loads with the ships of the seas, yeah, how Allah Ta'ala, He has facilitated that for us, and the valleys and the mountains, all of this, Allah Ta'ala is saying, think, consider, ponder, and you will find that you are grateful. And the beautiful ayah here, after all that has been mentioned, ayah 18, Allah Ta'ala says that if you start to enumerate, start to count Allah's blessings, وَإِن تَعُدُّوا نِعْمَةَ اللَّهِ لَا تُحْصُوهَا, you will never be able to encompass them. SubhanAllah. إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَغَفُورٌ رَحِيمٌ. Allah Ta'ala is saying He is merciful and gracious and merciful. He gave you all these blessings, but you don't show gratitude, but He still forgives you. Huh? He still forgives you. He allows you to carry on living, enjoying. He does not catch or seize us and punish us immediately. Okay, the next section about the crimes of the Quraysh, especially the arrogant leadership. The arrogant leadership, Allah Ta'ala is mentioning them in ayah 24, that they will ليحملوا أوزارهم كاملة يوم القيامة ومن أوزار الذين يضلونهم بغير علم ألا ساء ما يزرون. They will not only carry their own burdens of sins, but they also carry the burden of the people that they misled. Imagine that. Imagine a person misleads one person, and then that person misleads another, and then people are misled until the day of judgment. The person would have to carry all that load. It does not reduce the load of the other people. This has also been mentioned in Surah Al-Ankabut, Surah Al-Ankabut, and other places in the Quran. So Allah Ta'ala is saying that these people, they misguided others, and now they have to bear the price. قَدْ مَكَرَ الَّذِينَ مِنْ قَبْلِهِمْ. Again, makar has been mentioned because it's talking about the leadership, the think tanks. فَأَتَى اللَّهُ بُنْيَانَهُمْ مِنَ الْقَوَاعِدِ فَخَرَّ عَلَيْهِمُ السَّقْفُ مِنْ فَوْقِهِمْ وَأَتَاهُمُ الْعَذَابُ مِنْ حَيْثُ لَا يَشْعُرُونَ. What an amazing ayah, subhanallah. Amazing. Talking to those people who think they're so clever and intelligent, and they plan against Allah and His Messenger. Allah Ta'ala is saying their plot is like it has been Allah Ta'ala uprooted their building from the foundation, so the roof fell upon them from above them. SubhanAllah. Completely smashed and destroyed they have been. Absolutely. And that is what happens for the people who plan against and plot against Allah and His Messenger. And then the ayah I mentioned, ayah 44, where Allah Ta'ala, He says that part of the preservation of this deen is that He sent وَأَنزَلْنَا إِلَيْكَ الذِّكْرَ. We sent to you, O Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, the reminder, the dhikr, this Quran, لِتُبَيِّنَ لِلنَّاسِ مَا نُزِّلَ إِلَيْهِمْ, to make it clear and plain to mankind what has been sent for them, meaning clarify, explain, exemplify, وَلَعَلَّهُمْ يَتَفَكَّرُونَ, so that they may think about this Quran, so they can benefit from it. And then comparison between Allah Ta'ala's favor and people who believe in batil. Ayah 72. Wallahu ja'ala lakum min anfusikum azwaja. Allah Ta'ala is telling the people, look at the favors. I create for you mates. Wa ja'ala lakum min azwajikum banin. And then I gave you sons. Wa hafadatan, and grandchildren. Wa razaqakum min at-tayyibat, and I give you all this pure rizq. And then what do? Afa bil batil yu'minuna. Do you then go and believe in something that has done nothing, that doesn't exist, has no basis, has no right? When Allah has given you all this, وَبِنِعْمَةِ اللَّهِ هُمْ يَكْفُرُونَ, and you are being ungrateful to Allah Ta'ala's blessings. No, give Allah His right of shukr. Ashukru lillah, alhamdulillah. All praise, all thanks is only, solely, absolutely due to Allah alone. Nothing else, nobody else. And then the reality of this life compared to the hereafter. Look at this. Allah Ta'ala says in ayah 77 here. And to Allah belongs the unseen of the heaven and the earth, and the command for the hour is not but as a glance of the eye or even nearer. That is how close we are to that. And then Allah Ta'ala tells us, look, I created you, you come out of your mother's wombs, you know nothing. Then I gave you the instruments to be able to acquire knowledge. I gave you the hearing, the sight, and ability to process the information in your heart and mind. And then you become arrogant. Through this, I gave you the faculties, you become arrogant. You deny the one who gave them to you. I gave them to you, لَعَلَّكُمْ تَشْكُرُونَ. I gave them to you to be grateful to Allah for these, to use them in the right purpose. And then Allah Ta'ala, He gives us beautiful ayat, 2 ayat about the reward of the people of sabr, steadfastness. Ma indakum yanfad. Allah Ta'ala is saying, what you have, it will end. Wa ma indallahi baq. And what is with Allah will remain forever. وَلَا يَجْزِيَنَّ الَّذِينَ صَبَرُوا أَجْرَهُمْ بِأَحْسَنِ مَا كَانُوا يَعْمَلُونَ. Allah, He will give the best reward to the people for the best deeds they did, the people who remained steadfast in Allah's obedience. مَنْ عَمِلَ صَالِحًا مِنْ ذَكَرٍ أَوْ أُنْثَى. Whoever does any righteous deeds, whether they are male or female, وَهُوَ مُؤْمِنٌ, as long as they are believers. فَلَنُحْيِيَنَّهُ حَيَاةٌ طَيِّبَةٌ. We will definitely give them a life, a pure, sweet life. What does it mean, pure, sweet life? Pure, sweet life, hayatun tayyiba, in this life. It means that you will have a life where your heart knows you are right, what you're doing is right. You will taste the sweetness of Iman. Sweetness of Iman, where you will love everything after Allah. You will love Allah the most. وَلَنَجْزِيَنَّهُمْ أَجْرَهُمْ بِأَحْسَنِ مَا كَانُوا يَعْمَلُونَ. And the reward you will get in the hereafter is for the best of your deeds. For the best of your deeds. Allahumma rabba ja'alna minhum ya Rabbi ya Kareem. And then Allah Ta'ala is saying, when the Quran is recited, فَاسْتَعِذْ بِاللَّهِ. Seek Allah's protection from the shaitanir rajim. And then ayahs 120 to 123 talk about Ibrahim alayhi salam. Because everybody claims to be following Ibrahim. Allah Ta'ala is saying, Inna Ibrahim kana ummatan qanitan lillah hanifan wa lam yakun min al-mushrikeen shakiran li an'umi. Subhanallah, look at this. He was grateful. He was not just grateful, he was a monument of gratitude, shakiran. It means that he's outstanding in his gratitude towards Allah's blessings. Ijtabahu, Allah Ta'ala chose him, wahadahu ila sirati mustaqim. He chose to guide him. May Allah Ta'ala choose us to guide him. But how are we going to be chosen to be guided? What do we have to do? We have to be grateful to Allah. Be grateful to Allah. And one quick way to be grateful to your Allah is to be grateful to your parents. If you are grateful to your parents, Allah Ta'ala, He will be happy. You are grateful for His. Because the parents are the aspect of your rabubiyyah. Your upbringing. And I keep brainwashing you. That's good. I hope, inshallah, you'll be brainwashed with this. Inshallah. And then Allah Ta'ala is teaching us, وَأُدْعُوا إِلَى سَبِيلِ رَبِّكَ. Carry on inviting to the path of your Lord, this sabil, this sirati mustaqim, bil hikmah. Be sure of what you are saying, be strong and use wisdom. Wal mau'izatil hasana, and give beautiful advice. Wajadilhum billati hi ahsan, and when you have to discuss and debate, do it in the better manner. Be more firm and be more well mannered. Inna rabbaka wa a'lamu biman dalla an sabilihi wa a'lamu bil muhtadin. And Allah Ta'ala is saying, wasbir wa ma sabruka illa billah. Remain steadfast, and your sabr will not be accepted by Allah Ta'ala's leave. وَلَا تَحْزَنْ عَلَيْهِمْ. Do not grieve over them. وَلَا تَكُوا فِي ضَيْقٍ مِمَّا يَمْكُرُونَ. Again, in this end of the surah, it is telling us how Prophet was worried about these people. إِنَّ اللَّهَ مَعَ الَّذِينَ اتَّقَوْا وَالَّذِينَ هُمْ مُحْسِنُونَ. Allah Ta'ala, He is with those people who have taqwa, and He is with those who do good, meaning He helps them, and He helps them to succeed in this life and in the hereafter. May Allah Ta'ala make us from amongst these people of taqwa and ihsan. inshallah, let us go back to the and put this on, inshallah, for you to, you want to say something. Bismillah. Okay, so if there's no question, that's no problem. But if you have a question, inshallah, you are welcome to raise your hand, and then inshallah we can. خير then. جزاكم الله خير. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك.